For the first half of the 2025 season, it looked like it would be a runaway championship fight between the McLaren boys, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. But since the summer break, Max Verstappen has entered the championship picture with 2 race wins and 2 podium finishes. Singapore's P2 finish from Max and Red Bull was the most impactful, and with the remaining 6 races not favouring the McLaren MCL39 that much, Max winning the title for a 5th consecutive time does seem all the more possible. So in today's video, let's talk about who's got the fastest car, which teams will be competitive where, based off of each car's strengths and weaknesses, and the driver's record in each circuit as well. Starting off with the United States Grand Prix, I think Red Bull should have the quickest car here. Circuit of the Americas usually has been a high-deg circuit, with the need for a good efficiency compromise, especially to be competitive around the first and second sectors. It's going to be a great battle between the McLarens and the Red Bull of Max, but I do see the RB21 leading in Sector 1, especially the way Max pivots the front end of that RB21. His advantage is going to be significant around the first sector compared to the McLarens. The Red Bull will have the edge on Sector 2 as well, purely down to how good the RB21's efficiency on a straight line has been compared to the McLaren car. Red Bull has held this strength since 2022, and McLaren's aero philosophy has been a draggy concept for some time now. But Sector 3 is where the tyres would be screaming for dear life. I think McLaren's tyre advantage will kick in, hence giving them the advantage for the end of the lap. Max has had a great record around Austin. Lando as well has driven here phenomenally. Oscar might have some troubles. In the past, he has been a bit trigger happy on the throttle around Sector 1, having track limits issues in the past couple of years. I'm not expecting Mercedes to be a top player at Austin. Mercedes has been good around this track in the last couple of years, but I don't think the circuit plays into the strengths of the W16. Tyre degradation will be a problem for them. Next, going into Mexico. I think this is going to be a hard fight between the McLarens and Max. It's very track dependent on if you can nail the perfect cooling compromise to suit the higher altitude. That also makes drag less important. All cars will be on max downforce configuration, but will hit top speeds of 350 to 360 km per hour on the main straight. Grip and traction is going to be super important, and I think McLaren will have the edge here. Aero-wise, the MCL39 is a very strong car and has great traction under low grip conditions. With Mexico being a very low grip track, and with Sector 1 having traction corners, the McLaren car will be mighty here. Red Bull in the past have been really successful here, but the circuit does not align with the RB21 strong suits, so it is going to be a tall order for Max here. This might be the one race which might halt Max's championship progress, but if Max, as he has done many times, if he is able to land his car ahead of the McLarens, he might be able to produce a stunner here. But McLaren have the raw pace advantage around Mexico. The third race takes us to Brazil. This is a race which I will easily give to Max Verstappen, as the Interlagos circuit has been his happy hunting ground. Last year, he made one of the best recovery drives I have seen in Formula 1 in the wet. The way Max rotates the car is perfect for the Interlagos layout. Add a bit of rain and he will be mighty. So that pretty much puts Max in P1 in my books. Last year's RB20 was strong here. The RB21, I believe, will be much stronger comparatively. The fight between Max will be very tight. Brazil has a lot of medium speed corners which the McLaren likes, but the Mercedes car has performed pretty well around the Interlagos circuit in the last few seasons, so the fight for the podium could be a toss-up here. If Lando and Oscar drive perfectly, they should have no problem of getting a double podium. But that has not been the case in recent races, as both drivers have made mistakes by overdriving the car, which bring Mercedes into the mix where George Russell has been phenomenal in recent races, and while Antonelli has had a rise in form in recent races. So accounting the driver and car, Max is going to dominate Brazil. McLaren versus Mercedes will be the podium battle, which will help Max's championship charge. The last 3 races takes us to Vegas, Qatar, and last to Abu Dhabi. For Vegas, I think the fight is actually going to be between Max and the surprise players Mercedes. Past seasons, Vegas has been a very good track for Mercedes. Russell dominated last year's race. Lewis made it to P2 from 10th without a sweat. The cooler track conditions has been Mercedes' friends, and the team has not missed their chance at Vegas. We saw it in Canada this year. The W16 is strong around traction corners, followed up with long straights. Also, with the front wing upgrade at Singapore, the team has been able to engineer a bit more wing flexibility giving them a bit more setup options too. Max will be a very close challenger. Aero efficiency is the RB21's strong suit, and Max won the race at Baku, on a circuit similar to Vegas in terms of circuit characteristics. I can see Max battling it out with George. Hopefully they don't battle too hard, giving McLaren some outside opportunities, because I believe McLaren are going to struggle a little at Las Vegas. Traditionally, McLaren have not performed well here. Even last year they struggled very much with aero efficiency. Degradation is not going to matter much as well, so hopefully Max makes it all the way, giving us a good fight at the front. The next race at Qatar, I think this is going to be a toss-up race as well. Drag isn't too important here, a high-speed dominant circuit with high tyre degradation. Red Bull traditionally have been super strong here, and I think Max can muscle his RB21 to the top step easily. McLaren will be closely followed second. High speed is not McLaren's strong suit, but since last year the team has made improvements in that area, putting them very close to the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. I also think Oscar will have the upper hand here over Lando Norris. He has been strong here in the recent past, and that makes it all the more important for Max to take the race win here, to keep his championship hopes alive. The sixth race takes us to Abu Dhabi. I think this will be a hard-fought battle between Red Bull and McLaren. A very tyre-sensitive circuit with less downforce required as well. Sector 1 and Sector 2, I see Max taking them flat out. Aero efficiency is key around the first two sectors, playing into the RB21's strengths. But Sector 3 is where all the corners are, and the tyres will be screaming around the last few corners, making it McLaren's sector. Lando might have an upper hand here, down to his driving style versus Oscar's. According to my predictions, I have 2 races in favour of Max and Red Bull, 1 race in McLaren's favour, and 1 race going in Mercedes' favour. 2 races will be a tight battle between Max and the McLaren boys, but one of them is a toss-up. So my predictions predict a tight championship battle, which will continue down to Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen is my favourite to take this year's Drivers' Championship, which would be a record-equalling 5th consecutive Drivers' Championship win for him. Also, Red Bull are going all in this season with upgrades. I talked about this in a recent video, and we can expect more performance from Red Bull in the next couple of races, making it an advantage for Max and Red Bull. But Oscar is going to be fighting hard, so is Lando. Oscar has the advantage in the championship currently, so that gives him some options to play with. But we have some toss-up races, and Mercedes is in the mix as well, which will definitely make the championship battle very interesting this season, and I believe it will go down to the wire at Abu Dhabi. Again, I'd like to see Max win. I would also like to see some fire from the McLaren boys. With the constructors wrapped up, now can both Lando and Oscar unleash something feisty here. Hopefully these races end up as dramatic as it gets. Please no DNFs, as that could ruin everything for us. I've presented my predictions based off of the recent races, cars and driver strengths and weaknesses, and the picture has changed a lot since Singapore. But who will be this year's Drivers' Champion? Will it be Lando Norris? Will it be Oscar Piastri? Or is it going to be Franz Herrmann, aka Max Verstappen? I'm very much into your predictions in the comment section down below. Also, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and if you're interested in finding out more about the upgrades Red Bull have planned for the RB21, watch this video showing up on your screen now.